Hey everyone, it's Argonath from Return of the Fan, and another organisation goes woke, and here's hoping that they go broke as well. So this is from the Brit Music Awards, but before we start, don't forget, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down. And if you like my content, please subscribe, as it just means YouTube will notice my content a little bit easier. So let's have a look at what's happened here. Decisions are being made out of fear. Brian May blasts woke Brits for dropping gender categories and says Queen wouldn't be considered diverse enough if they formed today. So the Brit Awards have got rid of the best male, best female artist categories and so on. It's just the best artists now, because obviously people that don't identify as male or female are not included and so on, but they're getting massive backlash from fans and even people in the LGBTQI alphabet community as well. So let's have a look at what Brian May is saying, and good on him for speaking up and not kowtowing to the woke bullshit that is being propagated through our entertainment. So Brian May has launched a scathing attack at the Brit Awards' controversial decision to abolish male and female categories for its Woke 2022 event. The musician, 74, said it has been made without a lot of thought and believes if Queen were a new band emerging in the charts today, they would not be considered diverse enough. That's the thing, right? The whole thing is you've got to be diverse, so it doesn't take into account the talent that the people are actually have. Brian, who's won 4 Brits with the group, slammed organisers for making decisions out of fear and thinks the gender-neutral gongs will have long-term consequences. In an interview with The Sun on Tuesday, Brian said, "I feel very uncomfortable about some of the decisions that are being made, often out of fear, because people are so afraid of being called out. It's a horrible atmosphere." And I would imagine it is so. I get so sick of people trying to change things without thinking of the long-term consequences. Some of these things are improvements and some are not. Some of them are depriving people. Brian went on to say he believes Queen wouldn't be considered diverse enough to make it in the industry today, regardless of their talent as a group, right? Think how massive Queen actually was. Mostly white people, except for Freddie Mercury. The band, who have sold more than 90 million albums, was fronted by the late Freddie Mercury, who embraced his sexuality. The singer's parents were from the Parsi community of Western India. So he had some Indian blood in him, which I didn't know about until I read this article, actually. So that's quite cool. Brian said, "I'm sure if Queen started now, we would be forced to have people of different colours and different sexes and a trans person. But life doesn't have to be like that. We can all be separate and different." The Don't Stop Me Now hitmaker said no one cared Freddie wasn't white when the band was formed because he was their friend, brother and musician. Exactly! Don't take skin colour into account. Just look at the talent of the person, the character of the person, their personality. That's all you need to worry about. Worrying about race and gender just artificially makes things weird. Brian said it was frightening how the whole woke culture would have made the band think first if he was the right colour or right sex over his musical talent if Queen came about in the modern age. Organisers have divided opinion, with some outraged by the decision to switch to gender-neutral gongs for the first time in its history. Bosses have claimed the move was in a bid to be as inclusive and relevant as possible and allow people to enter who do not identify as a man or a woman. Oh my god. But fans blasted the change as woke drivel, with many calling for a boycott of next year's show. Go woke, go broke, Brit Awards. The Brit Awards will see contenders battle for Artist of the Year instead of male solo artist and female solo artist. Best International Artist of the Year will be used to replace the Best International Female or Male Solo Artist. Now just think about this for a minute. Generally, most of the top awards, like the Top Artist Award, goes to a male over females. So basically, if that carries on, it's very difficult for female artists to now win the Best Artist of the Year. Whereas if they had their own category, at least they would have had a chance to win that particular category. So the ceremony will feature 4 new awards, which will be decided by public vote: Alternative Rock Act, Hip Hop Grime Rap Act, Dance Act, and Pop R&B Act. Meanwhile, the Song of the Year prize will recognize the featured artist rather than just the lead artist or named collaborators. The changes came after singer Sam Smith, who identifies as non-binary, put organisers under pressure to scrap male and female categories earlier this year. The three-time winner said, "Music for me has always been about unification, not division. I look forward to a time where award shows can be reflective of the society we live in." Well, how about this? Why don't you let the artist choose what they identify as, whether either it's a man, a male, or a female, and then they can go into that category. And if they don't identify as either, we can have a separate category for non-binary people. So non-binary artist of the year award. So we could have that. And we can still have the male and female artist of the year, and whoever identifies as a male can go into the male category. Whoever identifies as a female can go into the female category. That seems to make sense for me, and it still leaves it open for people. But no, basically all these trans activists, they just want to reduce what other people have for themselves. This was slapped down by event planners at the time because it risked being counterproductive to diversity and equality. But in a huge volte-face today, Brit chair Tom March announced the dumping of the long-established category names. He said it's important that the Brits continue to evolve and aim to be as inclusive as possible. Yep, you're going to be so inclusive that people are not going to watch your award shows anymore. It will have, not everyone, but obviously it's going to have a big dip in the number of attendants. It feels completely the right time to celebrate the achievements of artists for the music that they create and the work they do, irrespective of gender. How does that make you feel, ladies? All right. March added, "I'm really excited to launch 4 new genre awards which create even more opportunities for artists to be acknowledged for the brilliant music they create and produce, and give music fans a chance to get involved and vote to support their artists and help them win a Brit." But fans and commentators were livid with the changes, blasting the move as woke drivel. Malcolm Clark, a TV producer and trustee of LGB Alliance, a charity that advocates for lesbians, bisexuals and gay men to define themselves as same-sex attracted, told Melonline, "While we've always loved a bit of gender bending, it's silly to deny that the different categories reflected the fact that women and men often have experiences that are distinct as their voices, because men and women are different. These woke idiots cannot get it through their heads about this. We often see sex being erased by organisations who claim on no evidence that it somehow harms the LGBT community. Of course, the best way to find out would be to ask us whether we want to remove separate sex categories. Exactly. Why don't you go and talk to these people? But no, they don't do that. They just want to virtue signal. Unfortunately, there does not appear to have been any consultation about whether the public, LGBT or straight, want this. Former MEP Christina Jordan said, "So long, Brit Awards. It's been nice knowing you. Good luck." Another person posted on Twitter, "Brit Awards, scrap male and female categories, more woke drivel." Dale Hammond from Guernsey said, well, I will be scrapping watching the Brit Awards then." One woman slammed the move as woke bilgewater and said the awards were no longer for me. Another said online, "Used to like watching the Brit Awards. I certainly won't be watching them now." A man added on social media, "The Brit Awards obviously want their lowest rating this year." In August, singer Will Young, who has pushed for the change, said he thought it would be really difficult to have just one category because less people would win. Exactly. He told the Independent Millennial Love podcast, "I only know of a couple of artists who identify as non-binary in the UK who would be up for Brit Awards. How much does something move around?" So if it's just a couple of people that identify as non-binary, you're changing the whole thing for a couple of people. It's just idiocy, and go woke, go broke. How many times can we say that? The Brits voting committee is made up of around 1,200 music industry experts across media, artists, blah, blah, blah. So just talk more about the show. Yeah, so the Brit Awards is going to be on February 8th live. We'll just wait and see how many people actually watch this woke trash appear on their screens. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are you for removing the gender categories for artists and just having one category for men and women together and non-binary and anyone else? Or do you think it's still appropriate to have separate categories for male and female, and maybe a separate category for people that identify as non-binary? You don't have to have a winner in that category every year if there are no non-binary people voted for that. Love to hear your comments. Again, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs down. And please subscribe as well. Anyway, hopefully I will catch you in the next video.